Good day, it's Constantine. Welcome to part 3 of the SE-02 tutorial. Now in this one we will have a look at the third and final mode of the synthesizer, song mode, all the way down. Now in song mode you can store different parts from as little to 1 to as many as 16 and have them play back in the order that you want and with as many repetitions as you want. Now you can save up to 16 songs. Now each step can save a song. By default, when you buy your synth, only 1 and 2 will have a song saved. The rest are blank. Now, as you can see, the rest have nothing. Let's go with 2 for this one. Now let's have a listen and notice how the patterns change. You will hear that each pattern will repeat twice. The reason for that is because they programmed it to repeat twice. And we can change that, we can change everything. Let's have a listen first. You get the idea. Now to make changes, you hit edit. And you can see that edit and pattern light up, along with how many different patterns this particular song has. Now this one has 10. To make changes to a pattern, you use the value knob to navigate to the pattern that you want, and then type in the pattern number for that step. Now when I say pattern, I mean the patterns from the sequencer mode. For example, let's go to the default one, the first one. Oh, by the way, when you have pressed edit and then you preview the patterns here, when you press play, they will play indefinitely. So let's get the first one. So I listen to this one and say I don't like it. Now if I want to replace it with another one, I can switch to sequencer mode and preview the ones that I want. So let's say 40. Say I don't like this one. Let's use something else. Let's go 34. Yes, I like this one. So now I switch back to song mode and then use the value knob to go to the step that I want. So in our case, step 1. And then I just simply type in the pattern number that I previewed in sequencer mode. So 34. And now this step will play with that pattern. Now to see how many times each pattern repeats, you hit the pattern button and then use the value knob to navigate. So pattern and use the value knob. So step 3 will repeat twice. Step 4 will repeat 4 times, 5 2 times, and so on. Now, if you want to change the number of repeats, you simply type it in. You can have a pattern play only once or repeat up to 100 times. For example, let's say that I want pattern 7 to repeat 3 times, and then I want pattern 9 to repeat 100 times. Now, to change the patch of the pattern, you press the patch button and then you use the value knob to navigate. Now, when you do, the screen will tell you what bank and which number it's using. So let's go to the first one. It says A and 26, so it's bank A and preset number 26. B is A and preset number 53. To change the preset, you choose the bank and preset number that you want. You can use all banks and the user bank with the sounds you have created. For example, let's say we go to step 2 and I want this one to be bank D. So I press A, and remember A is both A and D, so I choose D, and then you simply just type the preset number that you want. And you don't have to switch to patch mode to preview it. You can do everything here. So let's say that I want 80. I can simply preview it here. That's a lot of feedback. You can also press the manual button to use the preset you have created in patch mode. And you know you're in manual button. Let's go to 3 and press manual. And the screen will say man. So now, step A Step 1 will be A26, B will be the D80 which we chose, and 3 will be the manual parts we have created. Now, to insert the part, you go to the step that you want, and then you simply press Insert, and it will insert a new pattern at the selected spot. Now, the new step will use the patch preset of the previous one. So let's say I go to step 5, and this one has A46. So if I go to 6 and I press Insert, then this step will follow the previous one. So both 5 and 6 will be A46. Now, to delete a part, you simply select the part that you want and then press Delete. Let's say we delete number 8. Now, and as you can see, if you delete something that has other parts after that, then all of them will be adjusted forward. Now, lastly, as with the sequencer settings, you press Edit and Pattern together to enter the song mode settings. The same settings apply here, it's just like sequencer mode. So step 1 is destination output. So it can be internal, external, or both. Now step 2 is MIDI sync. As before, it can be internal, MIDI, USB, or trigger. So let's go with MIDI. So I can just start from my key step. Let's go back to internal. Now step 3 is tempo, and we adjust it with the value knob. Step 4 is key trigger. It controls whether the song mode will start by pressing a key. Now remember, as with the sequencer, if you press a key and it doesn't start, you have to go into the system settings, press step 8 and change it to on. So let's try that. Off, it doesn't start. On, it starts. And trigger, it follows the keyboard and it changes key. And step 5, it's an option that has been added with the latest update, is loop. It specifies whether the song plays as a loop. So meaning that when all the steps have finished, then it will start from the beginning again. And lastly, as with the sequencer settings, we also have the clear option on step 9, which is also red.